It's a Charlie Mac video, so don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy the video.
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
So this is a different video. This is kind of like a behind the scenes. I had the luxury of joining Evan Kail, the Pawnman, on a Between the Pawn episode. Check out these highlights, and very important, make sure you go check out his page, Pawnman on YouTube. Really interesting and fun content and very informative stuff. He's got some good deals, so go check him out. Here's the behind the scenes, I guess, if that's what you want to call it.
Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Okay, I think we're good.
Yep.
It's
You're
see. Okay, like a boomer with doing this. He's like, I don't know what to do. Okay.
Hey, I'm older than you. I know I'm a boomer.
Okay, ready? And here we go. What's going on, you guys? We're Between the Pawn. I'm Evan, and joining me, Charlie Mac, all the way from Brooklyn, New York City.
What?
Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Brooklyn's like one of my favorite places on earth, so.
It's a great place to be. Born and
So
raised.
the way that we're going to be doing this, I got Charlie talking to me on Skype. So if I'm looking down here, you guys, because I'm talking to him, then I'm going to try and do this like a normal video. Juliet's not here tonight. I wanted to get Charlie on the program, and I want to get more people who are in this community on my program talking in my Between the Pawn. Yeah, so let's get into it. Charlie, you're
Awesome.
you're one of the nicest guys on social media that I've met, and there's some real assholes, so kudos to you. Pat yourself on the back. You seem like a great guy. The only guy that I met in person in this community is Tommy Haynes, and I know you know him pretty well.
Yeah, Tommy's a great guy. And it's like I said, it's funny, man. I really wish I had the chance to meet you. It's just, the timing, the weather, and everything that day.
I was out in Brooklyn for Memorial Day, but we were going to do, it was like a last minute kind of thing that I saw that they were doing a big meetup, but then it got moved to, were you guys in like Pennsylvania?
Well, they did something in Pennsylvania. I scheduled it at Chelsea Piers, the golf range, Brews, hitting some golf balls, but I totally forgot it was Memorial Day weekend that day.
Yeah, and it was like crazy how the weather shifted that weekend too. Because when I arrived, it was like 90 and sunny. I arrived on a Wednesday, and then by Friday, it just like a monsoon rolled in, and the temperature dropped to like 40 degrees.
Oh, it was disgusting. It was gross.
But this is a Minnesota thing to do, so just start talking about the weather. And talk about coins, which is the prudent thing that we're talking about. So you don't, Charlie, you do this as like you're more of like a hobby, but you also are making money. You're selling stuff too. How did you get into all this? Because you're a firefighter as well.
So for me, it's more of a monetized hobby for sure. I enjoyed collecting. I got into the hobby by collecting the statehood quarters, I know, which is so boomer.
Well, actually, that's exactly what the Mint wants to hear, because that's precisely why they made those, was to get young people back into numismatics.
I got into it. I loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing, which kind of then led to collecting paper currency, and I went all out. I started collecting Morgans and then peace dollars, and then I got the Whitman books, and literally just filled up everything I can get my hands on. And then I started to get into more of the art bars, and then I found Stacking NYC in the community and attended some auctions. I got a chance to meet a lot of really cool people, and then I started getting into, and this is one of like my favorite things now, kind of show people, is the custom artwork and enameling that a lot of people do. So I'm a big fan of dragons. I got the Perth Mint 1 ounce 2018 and 2021 pieces. I could not find the Lunar series for the life of me. I mean, I literally had no problem paying the premiums. I just couldn't find them. So, I had Frank Icoin de-enamel these bad boys, just kind of like all of the colors of the rainbow, whatever you can think of, how to mix and match a lot of stuff. Really, really cool designs, really, really cool artwork. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of just dove into it head first. I kind of had a budget set aside, but would blow through that budget like every single week. And then, little by little, I just kind of understood the hobby a little bit more. What works as a sale. If you want to sell stuff, got rid of a lot of the 90% silver, just kind of bought more and more throughout the years.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, if you're into this as a hobby, especially on the gold level, it's an expensive hobby.
Oh yeah.
Definitely worst hobbies you could have because you are buying a precious metal that's going to go up in value. But I mean, it's easy to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to fulfill your hobby or build out a collection.
hmm You know, it's funny you say that too, because one of the things I just started getting into really last year through the pandemic was just really tightening the belt and stacking gold. You know, and I spoke with Stacking NYC, and you know, we kind of started the gold club.
Mm-hmm.
I never had the
Right there.
yeah, there it is. That freaking that guy Stacking NYC is amazing. Like he can get you anything.
I've
We
gone
came up
through him for big orders for customers. I had this summer. I had a guy who bought 50K worth of gold from me, and I was having a hell of a time getting it from local dealers, and I just called him up, and boom, he fulfilled it for me. It was great.
Yeah, and you know, I didn't really understand the relationships, you know, between the mint wholesalers and dealers, you know, the coin shops, and the interaction, you know, with the community is amazing. So with the gold club, you know, we just kind of created this holder for next year so people can slowly stack, you know, whatever it is that they want to stack, but just kind of keep them focused and taking it from there. I'm a big fan of the gold eagles. I like those, so I'm going to throw 10 of them in my custom holder.
Yeah,
But
again,
you're right.
That's a big
Expensive.
expensive holder to fill up there.
Expensive, absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be one that I just throw in the deep stack for.
But
for
you know,
years to come.
not certainly not a waste of money. I mean, I've been screaming that inflation's coming, and I think after New Year's, we're going to see precious metals really start to rise.
Yeah. You know, another piece which actually you secured for me was the quarter ounce proof, the Liberty piece.
Yes.
Another one that's just hard to get.
Yeah, you know, and I for whatever reason, local dealers here have had a bunch of them, and you bought one, a couple other people that are big names on social media bought them, but I ended up returning a couple of them, and I was kind of, this is a cool coin. What are you guys doing? Come on.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I got a local guy. He's fronting me. In fact, check this out. I'm literally holding 50 grand in my hand right now.
Oh. Whoa, look at that.
He just fronted me today. Somebody offloaded a massive gold collection onto this guy, and he want to melt it down. It's better for him to sell it to me. I think I bought all this stuff at like 5% over spot. And I mean, there's a mix of like limited edition pieces, like numismatic stuff, like what's this is a gold ducat from something. It's from 1876. It's BU. So, you know, this guy doesn't care. It's all gold to him, and the way that he buys it is just he buys it at the metal price. But I can turn around and do something with it. So I've got a great relationship with this guy. But yeah, no, it's expensive.
You know, one of the other things too, you talked about inflation, and I really didn't understand that. Like I said, I kind of came at it at the hobby level, you know, as a collector. But little by little, you start to read and investigate and kind of look at the monetary system, the way that it was to what it is to what it might be. A little scary, you know, for what's to come. And I can only speculate.
I keep getting people asking me, so what's going to happen next year? What's going to happen tomorrow? It's like, do you see fortune teller on the window? I don't know. Nothing good. I'll tell you that much. Nothing good.
I dated a gypsy, and she would never tell me.
yeah. No, I hope that we can correct the global economy, but I don't think that we can, and a lot of economists agree with me. There's for every dollar that's in the global economy, there's $5 of debt hanging behind it. Most experts say that can't even be fixed. So we just have to hit a global reset button, which would require global cooperation, which is not going to happen.
Yep.
So.
And it's kind of scary. You know, you have individuals a lot smarter than me who can't figure it out. So, you know, for the general masses and the general public, it's going to get scary.
Right. So when you, on your free time, when you're pursuing this, are you going to shows? How are you buying? Are you buying from other dealers online?
So it's funny because, you know, you would think in New York City, you know, I'm from Brooklyn. You would assume that there's a coin shop, you know, in each borough, but there are really not a lot of local coin shops. There was one, which is about a block or two away from me, but they're just terrible. They're never there. They're never open. They actually blew me off, and they would have had a really big sale. I had two people coming down, one from Manhattan and one from Connecticut. Made an appointment. Guy never showed up, never picked up his phone. Finally, you know, after about an hour or so, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't make it." I'm like, "Well, listen, I got guys coming from out of state." It just didn't work out. You know, I actually gave them another shot because it's in the neighborhood. I went back there. Terrible transaction. No receipts, no real record keeping. The guy thought I owed him an additional $20 like the third time I came back. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? So never really went back there. Most of my purchases have been through Instagram and through some of the big dealers on the websites. Not a lot of local coin shows, but something I'm trying to work towards in the next year, because I also teach part-time at a local college. So trying to bring that kind of back to the boroughs.
Yeah, I personally, I'm doing quite a lot of business with a few people on Instagram. They got great prices on coins that I know I can flip. And locally, I don't go to shows. I don't go to other stores. There's a decent amount of rivalry here in the Twin Cities metro, the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro. I bet there's about a dozen coin shops and gold businesses. And I mean, I try to be friendly, but from what I hear on the street, people, at least I have competition. They don't like me. I'm finding, though, I am being really transparent with people, and it's kind of like they're fucking thieves around here. The guy who trained me is a thief, and the other shops don't like that I am how transparent I am, and the fact that it's like, yeah, I'm going to pay you really close to spot. I'll tell you exactly what your shit melts at. I'm not going to play games with you. I'll tell you about, and if you got an offer from another shop, I'll tell you how good that is, or if I can beat it or not. And it's like, yeah.
Being in New York, we have a lot of different pawn shops in the neighborhood, and we got our local guys on the corner that'll, take care of you if you need it. But a lot of people don't understand that, if you have a $100 item, you can't get $100 for it. You've got to pay a certain price. You have overhead. And one of the other things that I've noticed, not just from your videos, but other content as well, that a lot of the other shop owners and many shop owners are usually a little bit older and not as tech savvy. So they do lose out on a percentage of customers that they could possibly have. Yeah.
I mean, for me, the social media is everything. I'm doing 95% of my business online through social media. I would not have been able to open the shop, not just because of my following and the fact that propped me up, but just the commerce. I would have bled money for months and months. I mean, it's finally turning around now because my reputation, like my Google score is, I'm not number one yet in the metro, but I'm really close in just a couple months. And I'm finally getting walk-in traffic. My reputation's getting out. But my first 3-4 months, it was really slow. And I was 100% reliant on my social media. And it's just such a great tool. I got some weird coins here that I don't know locally if anybody wants a gold coin from Iran. Somebody online does, guarantee you.
Yeah, you make a good point about that too. There's a handful of people that I follow on YouTube. Your channel is definitely one of them. But there's a lot of guys that are international as well. They love just, getting coins from all over the world. It seems like social media, the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube auctions are kind of the way to go, especially with the pandemic and the lockdowns. Some people can't get out, they can't open up, or they're afraid to carry cash with them when they go to the stores.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's a little violent these days. And yeah, not a lot of people are keen on running around with a bunch of cash.
Yeah, I seen your previous episode on what you got on your hip.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't have. Yeah, I had an incident this week. I think you saw the video. Which will be out on Pawnman next week, you guys. I had the craziest interaction I've had on my own with this guy that was just hopped up on drugs, and he got a little aggressive with me. I was getting a little nervous because he got kind of mad that I wasn't gonna just hand him money for his shit. It's like, do you know how business works? Because that's not how it works, man. I'm not a fucking charity. I don't care the times are tough for you.
Yeah, it's just looking at it from my point of view. I mean, I have two main jobs. My main one is security, protective services, fire services, and things like that. I mean, we provide security guards to every single type of business that you can think of. And this economy and your line of work with cash, you have to protect yourself. Insurance is one way, but you don't want to have to go through the emotional part of dealing.
File an insurance claim. Fuck that. What a headache. Sit around and wait for an investigator to go through and determine what they can pay me and what they can't pay me, and go like this along the way to not pay me.
And then your shop would be shut down for a while. Cleaning up the shop. I mean, it's a traumatic event.
Yeah, and it's bad for my reputation that I got robbed too. Luckily, I am right next door to a police station, so it'd have to be a really dumb robber. But to commit a robbery, you're not exactly a genius.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Anything more to that. So with that, Charlie, let's get into the questions because I do have some viewer questions. That's what
Awesome.
you watch the show, you know that's what Between the Pawn is. So, all right, first question coming in, and I guess I will just read it to you. So, question one. Shit, I didn't see who asked the question. It got cut off. I think that's Robert Uplinger, but I could be wrong.
Rob. I know Rob. That's
Rob.
Instagram.
Is this photo him holding a fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Rob. I thought so. I do a lot of business with Rob. Hi, Rob. So, okay, Rob asks question. Oh, he's got a few questions for us. Do you think that social media will have a positive effect on silver prices? Oh yeah,
Definitely. Absolutely.
We're educating people about why this is important. We're getting them into the market. We're getting them spending money where they otherwise wouldn't. We're introducing an entirely new clientele into the precious metal market. So,
yeah, I definitely would say yes. And you just kind of touched on this as well. I'm actually surprised on how many younger stackers and sellers there are. I mean, there's a couple of people that I know 14, 15, 16 that are doing really big business. I mean, at that age, I was out, playing sports, playing video games, not even, caring about anything else in the world. But there's a whole new generation of stackers and sellers on there. And I think not just Instagram, but a lot of the other social media outlets help that as well.
shit, I wish I was buying silver when I was 15.
Oh my God, at that time, probably like $6 and that.
Yeah, I would have a lot more money than I have now. Although I'm doing it now. Okay, question, yeah, a little flex there. Question 2. Do you believe that we should pull portions of 401k to put into silver in hand?
Oh, that is a great question. It's funny. I'm debating on doing it. It's not really 401k. I mean, for me, I'm in my mid-40s. I would probably just leave that alone, just because I don't know enough about that yet. But with the new tax codes for unrealized capital gains, I'm debating to just kind of pull my money. I don't know if I should or shouldn't. I'm not sure how up to date you are. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I've heard about it. It's at least with the cryptocurrency angle, it sounds insane.
Yeah. So
you have to pay taxes on profits that you haven't even realized. Yeah, it's like what?
Yeah,
What?
I gotta pay tax on money that I don't know that I have yet, may not yet, or maybe I'll just make a crazy amount. So it just seems like a sure way to the little man.
I don't want to get political, but Biden's kicking everybody out of his White House who's smoking pot. The biggest pot smoker, Janet Yellen, gets to keep her job. I'm sorry, but you are not sober if that comes out of your mouth. What a fucking batshit thing to say. You have to pay taxes on unrealized gains for... Oh my God, that pissed me off.
It's so funny because, I'm just used to this at my job, just being very, politically correct, and when I'm on IG, very PG, but I forget, man, you're like totally R-rated, X-rated, you go all the way, so yeah.
I'm liberal too, but like I saw that, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is like what gives liberals a bad name and shit like this. So,
yeah,
anyway,
so to kind of answer the question, for 401k, I would just kind of leave that as is, but I am not your financial advisor.
Right.
I would really do a lot of homework and thinking.
I am a financial speculator for sure. Anybody can be, but I'm certainly not an advisor. I don't have any kind of credentials, and I wouldn't tell anyone to touch something as important as a 401k. That's up to you. Personally, well, hey, look, I don't have a 401k. I probably never will. I've never had a job I've never had a traditional job, and now I work for myself, and this is probably where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. So with how I'm investing, I think precious metals, real estate, cryptocurrency, you can't go wrong with those.
Those are the three. Absolutely, I would agree with you with.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into crypto. I don't know too much yet, but I know better start grabbing some.
I have a lot in crypto. I've done really well on it. I actually was able to open this business partly with my crypto profits.
Oh.
Great way to not pay taxes on it. I can write that shit off. I shouldn't say that out loud. Never mind.
Yeah. Stricken from the record.
Yeah. Can't cut that out. I'm not kidding. Question 3. If you could afford to, is it wise to buy, say, 5,000 worth of metals or a few hundred at a time? Just get it as cheaply as you can. You know, if you can get a better price at 5K than 500, then go for the 5K. But don't over leverage I can talk. Do not over leverage yourself ever. It's just always a bad idea.
Yeah, I've fell victim to that where I've overextended myself and then I wind up selling the shit that I just bought.
Right. Yeah, no, I get people, I don't want to be rude about it, but like I get people that want me to do layaway for them on precious metals. And it's like, if you can't afford this today, then don't buy it.
Yeah. Kind of the same.
Terrible experiences when I try and hold stuff for people. I'm no longer holding anything for anyone. I don't care. Almost every time I hold stuff for people, they back out and bites me in the ass. So
yeah. Plus, you also have to deal with spot price changing.
Yeah, exactly. The market can change too. I had maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, I had a 100-ounce bar that had some damage, and somebody put a deposit down on it, and then they just like fucking fell off the face of the earth, and they stopped responding to me for whatever reason. I forget, it was like TikTok. They originally messaged me, and then they Venmo'd me, and then I got so many TikTok messages. I just lost their TikTok message, and I didn't take down their phone number, and they like weren't responding to me on Venmo. But like fucking 2.5 months went by, and it was like the silver price dropped, and I ended up I sold the bar to somebody else. I was like, if you're gonna stick me with this thing for 2.5 months, forget it. So I'm gonna just keep the deposit. And I ended up selling the bar at a loss because the market changed.
I could see that going both ways too, where if the other person is not happy, they may come back at you, and then you got to lay down a law and smack them around a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Forget that. Okay. So those are Robert's questions. Let's move on.
Sounds like Robert wants to buy, man. You should sell him some stuff.
I do a decent amount of business with Robert.
He's good people.
Okay, question 2, coming in from Josh K on YouTube. Josh is asking, can a proof coin still have minor damage when you get it? Like, if I have a proof coin and there's a minor scratch, is it still considered a proof? Love the videos. I've been watching since episode 3. Thank you, Josh.
That's a good question, Josh. I've actually had a few proof coins that have come in all fucked up, dinged up, and I haven't got one recently, but I know a lot of people who have gotten either a Morgan or the peace dollar all banged up within the case as it's been shipped to them from the mint. Yeah,
the difference between a proof 70 and a proof 69 might be a single hairline impression that you can't see with the naked eye. You know, these coin grading services are so goddamn strict. If there's anything wrong with the coin, it's not going to be a 70. It's going to be a 69. 69 out of 70 means so damage is a loaded term with coins because damage actually means a specific thing happened to it. So damage, really, for the sake of your question, pointing in weird ways here, isn't quite the right word. But, you know, a 69 out of 70 means it got damaged and its score was reduced from 70 to 60. Because all coins start out at 70. And then whatever happens to them in their life from the moment they leave the die, the moment they leave the mint the conveyor belt even, is damage.
So, you know, it's funny, actually. I'm putting together like a little fun trivia thing I'm going to put on my YouTube page. But I picked up the official Red Book. And it actually talks about the different types of conditions, the mint states, the proof states. So once again, you know, always educate yourself too, because you're right. The way we may say certain things might not be what you exactly mean. Terminology is kind of not all over the place, but different words can mean different things.
Yeah, but to further expand on Josh's question or his comment, is it still a proof if it's damaged? Yes, because a proof is simply a process of manufacturing. A business strike hit once by the die, a proof twice. By being struck twice, it becomes a proof. So if it was proof-like, it can lose its proof-like attribute with enough damage for sure. But if it's made as a proof, it's always going to be a proof, even if you... I was going to use a really vulgar example. Never mind. If you damage it. They stick it up your ass for 3 weeks. It'll still be a proof when you pull it out. If it's a penny proof, it's got brown toning. Filthy. Natural toning. There we go. Okay, question 3 coming in from Steve Vargas on YouTube. Steve asks, what are the limits of what your employees can buy? It's more of a question for me. I don't have any limits. I let them buy whatever they want. Yeah. I would be annoyed if something really expensive came in that I knew I could get a gajillion dollars for online, and I paid nothing for it, and then say, this has happened a few times, I guess, where Juliet wants to buy like an antique that we bought for like $10. Like I bought a sterling silver pocket knife, a vintage antique one from like probably the 1940s. I paid $10 for it. I didn't even see that it was sterling. I was just buying stuff fast. So that's something that I could probably get 150 bucks on it, but Juliet wants to buy it. I told her 20 bucks, and you know, that's fine to an extent. If it was going on all day, I'd probably make limits, but for right now, no. I let Juliet and my other guy, who you guys will never see here on YouTube because he wants to be anonymous, I let them buy whatever they want. Sorry, that was a me question. That was not.
No, really... no problem. That's all you.
Okay, question 4 is coming in from Instagram from Chris Reiter. He says, question for your interview with CMac. When a customer wants to sell you a modern collectible silver piece, do you take into consideration the collectible value, or is silver just silver? You go first.
I didn't catch all of that question.
Oh, here, I'll repeat it for you. He said, when a customer wants to sell you a modern collectible silver piece, do you take into consideration the collectible value, or is silver just silver?
Oh, definitely collector value, I would think first. Depending upon the piece, depending upon the condition. Me personally, like I said, there are times where I will pay more just for dragon stuff, which is, you know, that's just me because I'm going to keep it in my deep stack or do something pretty cool with it. But for me, it's different because I am not running a business. I am a collector, which I'm pretty sure will be a little bit different for you,
right? Evan. No, I'm strictly running a business, and you know, it depends. What do you want? You know, I had a guy yesterday came in here at 20 buffaloes. I made a TikTok about it. I offered. He said, "What are you paying?" I said, "Well, I got $25.50 on the market price. So, how much are you looking for?" He's like, "Well, he said, what's the market?" I said, $25.50. So that'd be $5.10 for the tube. And this guy like doesn't negotiate with me, and he basically just like walks out, and it's like, "Fucking negotiate with me. I'll come up on price. I always will." Or like within reason, I will, but like if you're not even a bother, I can't guide you to make me pay you more money. Why would I do that? So it kind of depends on what the person has, what they want, do they know what they have? But if you're just walking in here off the street and you don't know what you have, then I'm gonna just pay you the silver price, because why would I cost myself more money? You know, I'm running a business here. And that's the same with most of these buy-sell shops, like the guy in front of me, all this gold here. These coins are worth a lot more than the gold value. There's a lot of collector value in here, but he just paid the gold value because that's what he does, and the person selling it just offloaded it for the gold value because that's all they wanted. I don't know if this person knew what they were doing, who I would go so far as to say made a colossal mistake selling everything in spot, but you know, that's how these businesses work.
And I guess sometimes individuals just, they have to be liquid. You know, things happen, they just need, you know, cash now in their hand.
Yeah. All right, we're moving along here. Do I have any more? I got one question left. Last question coming in from S.N. Galili. Sam. I hope it's saying his last name right. He's a Patreon. I should know how to say his last name. Sam asks, what is your favorite gift ever received from a fan/viewer? Probably the gift I got from you, Charlie.
Ah, thanks, man. You know, that was really cool.
It was like a $100 gift. That was really nice.
So, you know, it's funny, actually. We started a online community. A lot of us, you know, we play games and stuff here and there, and a lot of us got together and started playing World of Warcraft and Magic the Gathering online. And a handful of us were playing each other in chess. I literally just, I went crazy. When I get into something, I go all in, I get a little overzealous. And I was like, you know what? Let me send this to Evan. You know what? Let me get some shameless plugs, as I wrote the note, like, hey, let me get a shout out. But, you know, I thought it'd be pretty cool. I mean, you do have a lot of cool coins, collectibles, currency, artwork. You got that killer clown, and the samurai sword. Like, you know what? Let me send this to him. Let me see if he can make a few bucks on it.
Yeah. I already moved it. I got about $100 on that stuff, and it was like,
nice,
awesome, love it. So,
and yeah, I'm assuming you got to have a diverse section of your store. You know, it's not just coins. You sell other stuff as well, right?
Yep, Nazi shit. You know.
Yeah, I gotta talk to you about it. I want to get something. I don't know what yet, but I want to get something just for the collector.
Yeah, I mean, I got all kinds of cool ships walking into my door here. You know, you saw that deal I did yesterday, all that eclectic stuff from those old people.
Yeah, you know, you shake your little tail feather and fucking stuff is out the door like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Good
sometimes
stuff.
I make mistakes on stuff too. I think, oh, this is so cool. I bet I'll sell this in 3 seconds. I'll pay an arm and a leg for it because it's so cool, and then I fucking get stuck with it. Like, I am still sitting on those Nazi daggers. I'm a little annoyed.
Those are nice. I'm pretty sure you're gonna find a buyer though.
I will eventually, but I need money right now. It's kind of nothing short of a magic trick to be able to do this business with the amount of money that I'm operating on. So I got fucking a little over $2,000 tied up into those things. So it's like, I thought I was gonna make a quick 1,000 on them, and I'm still sitting on them 3 weeks later. It's like, God damn it! But I also went to stock jail the same day that I got them, so that kind of hurt.
The education system, you know, loves to cancel certain things. Do you think they'll cancel coins and currency where it's illegal or prohibited to sell certain things like that?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, never underestimate the stupidity of cancel culture, but I don't think so. You know, I get a lot of people saying that they're worried about another government confiscation of gold bullion, like from 1933. It's like, fucky, that's not going to happen. There is a literal body count if they do that. They're not going to do that. It's like they're not going to confiscate your guns. It's just not going to happen. I don't think. I hope I don't eat my words here, but I really, truly don't believe that will happen.
I don't think it would ever pass, but logistically, I don't think it could physically happen either.
Yeah, I mean, it's more it physically couldn't happen. I don't think it would pass either, but also never underestimate the stupidity of Washington.
Yeah.
I'll just leave that at that. Anything else you want to throw in, Charlie, or add to the viewers?
Once again, folks, keep watching Evan Pawnman. Really, really cool stuff. You know, it's a great community. If you have questions, ask, reach out. Also, sometimes, though, do your own research, because sometimes you ask some silly questions, but get to know the people in the community. There's a lot of really good buyers and sellers, a lot of like-minded people out there. Evan, thanks once again. Let me show off some of my cool stuff that I just got put together.
You guys, be sure you follow Charlie Mac. He's on Instagram, Charlie Mac, NYC Brooklyn, NYCBRKLYN. Is that how you do it?
That's it. You could spell, kiddo.
I always I get them mixed up if you have New York City, Brooklyn, or Brooklyn, New York City.
Yeah, that's right. And if you ever get in any dragons, let me know. These are like some of my favorite things. I get them enameled and painted in some cool cases.
After we're done talking here, I'm going to show you. I got a couple of tiny dragon pieces in here you might want to look at.
Oh, sweet. So sweet.
There's like 130 coins in there. I got to pick them apart. But I think I saw a couple of dragon pieces in there.
Do you sort everything yourself, or you mix it up with your team?
I fucking do everything myself. I got 2 people who work for me, but they're autonomous with their own tasks. They know what they need to be doing, and like, frankly, I do need to hire somebody else, but I don't have the money for it right now.
No volunteers, no internships up there.
I can't take a volunteer in this business because they could steal from me, and if I get one person putting away a gram of gold a week, that could put me under.
Sure.
Shit gets expensive in this business, and I don't feel right about taking a volunteer. I would want to pay somebody fairly, and I'm paying my employees $20 an hour. I feel that that's fair. I can barely afford to do that, but I have to do that. I just feel that that's right.
You got to get the right person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised, especially in New York. Like I said, there's so many young people working. Kids get their working papers around 15, 16. So many are into this hobby. So they're out there promoting coins. They're doing shows. They're doing their own thing. So I don't know how it is out there, if that's something that those kids would be into.
Yeah. No, I do get people both walking in here kind of a lot asking me, literally actually asking to work for me for free. And it's like, it's all right. I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm like, it's America. Hey,
messaging me, wanting to move here to work for me. It's like, that's really flattering.
Kind of odd.
It's a bit of a, you've never met me before and you want to just drop what you're doing and come work for me in a different state. You've never even been to Minnesota. Okay, I'll compliment. No, actually, I was at the Renaissance Festival maybe about a month and a half ago. I got so drunk. And a couple people recognized me and walked up to me. And one kid has followed up with me, and I do think he's going to be my next hire. Cool kid, local kid. He's like 24. Seems like he's gonna be a good fit. But he's on my list, and it's like fucking like I don't have money to hire you right now. I gotta wait like 6 months before I can even broach that subject. Broach that subject? Is that the word? You know what I mean?
Yeah, broach him like you. Come here. You know. We say things different in Brooklyn, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Boy, I just got sidetracked here. Anyway, if you guys go follow Charlie Mac, follow me. I'm here on YouTube. Post your. I'm like kind of out of it.
What, you nervous? What, you nervous today?
Between the Pawn, and should have Juliet back on the next one. I'm also going to be interviewing my dad very soon. So post your questions for my interview with my dad. Follow me on social media at Evan Kail, at Pawnman, more importantly, at Pawnman. Join my Discord, get my books on Amazon. And again, go follow Charlie Mac. He's such a great guy. He's here on YouTube and he's on Instagram. He's got great stuff.
So if you liked that video, let me know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like, what you thought was funny or just silly. I'm just trying to experiment. This is my first year doing the YouTube page thing, so I'm doing a little bit of everything, as you see. Thanks again, folks. Like, share, subscribe, do all that cool YouTube stuff. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.